Hi, I'm Chewy Mew, and like I said in some past videos, I hate some stuff that ToyBiz did, and this is a result of talking about that, and I'm going to be talking about truly, genuinely, without a doubt, the worst thing that ToyBiz has ever done, the absolute worst thing they could have ever done in the history of anything. Like, ask any company and they'd say, yeah, that's the worst thing they ever did. You could ask anyone that owns a business or just anybody, like, hey, what is the worst thing that a company could ever do? And I'm pretty sure everybody would tell you the same thing. Go bankrupt, go out of business, because if a company goes out of business, that means they're dead. They're not around, they're not making stuff, they're gone, they're dead. That's probably every business owner's worst nightmare, going out of business. Except maybe like being killed, that's pretty horrible too, but like the worst thing that could happen to your company is it goes out of business and it's dead. Like, that's the worst that could happen. And that's the worst thing ToyBiz ever did, was go out of business. So, I'm pretty sure everybody knows the story by now because a lot of people have talked about it and it's like easy to look it up and read it online. What happened was ToyBiz got the rights to make Marvel products in the 90s, and they did, and blah, blah, blah. And then in 2006, Marvel decided, hey, we're going to sell the license to Hasbro because Marvel owned ToyBiz. So that means ToyBiz had to have their own factories, their own employees, their own sculptors to do all the stuff. They had to pay for marketing. So Marvel was making profit off ToyBiz figures, right? Because they own ToyBiz. They're making money from it, but they had to pay for all the factories and stuff that I mentioned. And so Marvel realized, if we sell the rights to Hasbro, we're going to make less money, but we don't have to pay for factories and stuff. So they're basically just, Hasbro, make products for our characters, do whatever you want, just give us a cut. And that's where licensing fees come from. ToyBiz didn't have licensing fees because Marvel owned them, so they didn't have to pay Marvel to make stuff. They just made money when Marvel made money by selling the toys. And so, I mean, yes, it was Marvel's choice to basically kill ToyBiz by giving them Hasbro the license instead of ToyBiz. But if ToyBiz would have made better business decisions, like since the start of time when they first started making Marvel products, they probably would still be alive. But they went bankrupt because they made stupid decisions. Like, that's ultimately what happened. Like, they sold their Marvel figures way too cheap. Like even nowadays, like if the figures are like $8, that's way too cheap. Like, there's no way ToyBiz was raking in the cash like that. Like Hasbro, they're making bank off Marvel Legends and all their products. $24 when it cost them like $5 to make a wave of Marvel Legends. And I mean, yeah, they're not making like as much money this year compared to last year, but they're still making more money than ToyBiz did. Like ToyBiz, like at their best year, probably was still not making nearly as much money at like Hasbro as like one of their worst years. Like, because Hasbro is enormous. They don't even just make action figures. They make all sorts of stuff. So unfortunately, yeah, that's the worst thing ToyBiz ever did, was go out of business because they made stupid business decisions. So then they killed themselves, which is unfortunate, you know? So, you know, that's the worst thing ToyBiz ever did, was go bankrupt. Yeah.